X.
There are no rules but one. Drink Jägermeister at minus 18 degrees Celsius.
So you said you have same dinosaurs in Alberta and in Mongolia. So is that the evidence of certain migration pattern between them?
Yeah, it's certainly what made me start thinking about migration patterns and so on in dinosaurs. It's the reason we've worked in Central Asia for so many years. I actually started in 1986 and in China in the Gobi Desert, and then subsequently we moved to Mongolia to work there, and I've worked there ever since. And it's because of the fact that we can learn so much about our own dinosaurs. It's one of the things we know about any dinosaur site, or any fossil site for that matter, is that you have different ways that fossils get preserved. And there's always these biases involved, whether you like it or not. So for example, in Alberta, the rivers were very big, and there were a lot of tyrannosaurs. Tyrannosaurs would eat anything that was small enough to fit in their mouths, essentially. So if they eat it all, then it's gone. And so we have very few specimens of small dinosaurs from a place like Dinosaur Provincial Park. Basically, not only did they get eaten, but the river system was very active itself. And of course, small animals, because of their size, they rot a lot faster, and the bones and skeletons fall apart. So you don't find small things. You either get, they rot and they get destroyed by the river, or they, in fact, get eaten by tyrannosaurs. This means that we have this bizarre situation where we have all of these big dinosaurs, Albertosaurus, Gorgosaurus, even some of the formations that have Tyrannosaurus rex, for example, but they're all adult animals. They're not babies. They're half grown to adult size. So they're all multi-ton animals. The evidence of the babies and the small animals that live with the dinosaurs comes in the form of just isolated bones and teeth, and they get mixed up into the whole thing. But when you're looking at isolated bones and teeth, unless you know what the whole animal looks like, then you really are guessing right in a lot of cases. So, for example, the very first raptor was not Velociraptor. It was in fact from Alberta, and it had been found in basically that early period when the American Museum of Natural History was working in Alberta. And it's an animal called Dromaeosaurus. It's not a complete animal, though. It's a partial skull and a few bones from the postcranial skeleton. So they didn't even realize that it had this big raptorial claw on its foot at the time. And yet we found many isolated bones over the years and many isolated teeth of Dromaeosaurus and of other raptors in Alberta as well, but we didn't know what they looked like. On the other hand, you go to Mongolia, and we have these beds. Well, let's take, for example, the Judocta beds where Velociraptor was originally found. That was from 1923. And so 8 years after the first dromaeosaur was found in North America. And it's a complete skeleton. So now looking at the isolated bones from North America and comparing them with the skeleton of Velociraptor told us what the whole animal should look like. Now, it didn't give us a good idea of how different Velociraptor and the North American raptors were, but it nevertheless told us in general what that animal looked like. And over the years, the same kind of thing has happened. Mongolia has a situation where small animals can be preserved. And I won't go into the technicalities of it right now, but it means that if we want to understand the small animals in North America, we have to be able to understand the animals from Central Asia as well, where the different preservational regimes allow us to find whole skeletons where we can look at the isolated bones and then compare them with the isolated bones we find from North America. And there are still lots of dinosaurs being found in both Asia and North America. And what we're finding is because there was enough interaction through migration between North America and Asia, that in most cases, all the same families or all the same types of dinosaurs were in both North America and Asia.
We stay genuine, uncensored, and unscripted, and we always will, as we have to order our usual. Share us and subscribe us, and stay tuned until the next Wednesday. Ikuzo!